Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. Welcome to another video in this series for Civilization 4 featuring Willem of the Dutch. I believe this is part 6 if I remember correctly. Good to have you guys back with me here again for the next part of this video. I did enjoy reading some of the comments for the last part of the video. Some people thought that, a lot of people claiming that I was raging when I saw the French start position, which I think is kind of funny. I guess you could say that. It was just sort of an honest reaction, spur of the moment to seeing just how good their capital was. So, I hope that some of you got a kick out of that. Anyway, let's pick back up here again. I know that the channel has been very heavy with a lot of League of Legends content, but again, that's because we've been doing these semi-final matches for IPL 5 qualifying, and I want to have a chance to put them up on the channel. But I do want to continue this series. I try to put up a video for this series about once a week, roughly. That's sort of the idea. I'm not sure I've always managed to stick to that, because I know there was a point in time where it went, I think, like 2.5 weeks before our video came up. But once a week is sort of what I'm shooting for here. Anyway, this is where we picked back up when I last played, and I don't think there's anything I have to do on this particular turn. You're in pretty good shape. As long as nobody declares war on us, we should be good to go. So, let's get started. I'm running through a lot of cheap religious techs here, and I'll continue getting 1 tech per turn for a little while yet. This AI moves all that stuff around. Yeah, again, you can turn off these animations if you don't want to see them, but I like to be able to see where the AI is moving.
Not at all similar are the race of the immortal gods and the race of men who walk upon the earth.
Alright, so this is another early game cheap tech. Well, it's expensive right at the start of the game, but by now it's pretty cheap because we're 100 turns in. Polytheism first to discover this, founds Hinduism. In and of itself, that's really all that it does. It leads to some other techs. You can also build 2 wonders here, Parthenon and Temple of Artemis. Neither one of these is a particularly great wonder. Parthenon is decent, but it's not really worth the expense. It's not really worth the production. Temple of Artemis is treated as like a semi-joke wonder. It's really not good, and it's usually not worth the production. Going for it. Let's check out the tech tree again. We're going to breeze through priesthood and monotheism here. I'm going to do both of these 1-turn techs. So a little word about the tech tree, just for people who are curious. I know that the tech tree looks really confusing when you first start out. There's all these arrows all over the place. Just a word or two about how this works, because I haven't really talked about that so far in this video. Basically, the arrows are what we call prerequisites. It shows what you can tech. So, you know, like, let's say if you want to tech priesthood, you need to have either meditation or polytheism. That's why there's 2 arrows here. Meanwhile, if you want to do horseback riding, the only thing you need is animal husbandry, so there's only 1 arrow. Now, the little trick is every one of these arrows is a prerequisite. You actually get a bonus on beakers for every one of these little arrows. So if you notice here at priesthood, if you notice on priesthood, there's 2 arrows pointing to it. So we only need to have meditation or polytheism. Only need to have 1 of these 2 texts to be able to research priesthood. But if you have both of them, you get more bonus speakers when you're researching priesthood. Watch, I can demonstrate this right now. Well, I'll click on horseback riding. Alright, so check this out. If I click on F9 and I check out my GMP, notice that it's 177 because it's factoring in how many beakers we get. Watch, if I go ahead and swap this to priesthood, I'll get more bonus speakers because I have both prerequisites. So if I go ahead and check GMP again, now it's 207. So this is one reason why the GMP stat can be misleading. That's because it's tracking those bonus speakers that you get for different techs. So basically, long story short, you only need 1 of the 2 prerequisites if there's 2, but if you have them both, you get bonus speakers. It's 20% for each prerequisite. So if you have only 1, 20%. If you have 2, 40%. There's 1 or 2 techs you can actually get 60%. I think writing is like the only tech in the game you can get 60% bonus for if you have all 3 of these techs that feed into it. Now, the one other thing that's confusing is sometimes there's a tech in the top right corner, and when that's the case, you need another tech to research it, and you don't get any bonus speakers for that. So it's a little bit confusing. Basically, to research pottery, you need the wheel and either fishing or agriculture. I realize that this sounds confusing, but this is where like the cross tree requirements come in. For instance, another one, in order to research monotheism, you need polytheism, and you also have to research masonry. So that's what those little thing in the top right corner is. Again, it's confusing. Like, again, for construction, you need to have masonry. This is where they do the cross tree requirements. Anyway, I realize that's confusing, but we're just going to blow through monotheism, priesthood, monarchy, and then I think I'm going to make a run at Great Lighthouse by going to literature after that. But I'll see. Pakal has also he's picked up organized religion. Oh, somebody's got a great engineer. That means we'll likely see a wonder falling. I wonder where they got that from. Probably from whoever. Let's see. Germany. If Germany may very well have used the oracle on metal casting, perhaps. Carthage also has metal casting tech too. Anyway, hard to say. I don't think anyone's built... Has anyone built the pyramids yet in this game? I honestly can't remember. That's another source of great engineer points. No. It's still out there, but I'm not going to be making a play for it in this particular game. Alright. So we got that chop into a forge. Let's work on the cottage here. This guy's just exploring. Keep him on the road so we can explore a little bit faster. Oh, AI building that road connection. There we go. See, I knew there was another city in this area. Alright. It's useful to go ahead and map out enemy AI territory. I mean, it's not necessary, but there is a map trading tech later on. But it's useful just to be able to see what they're doing, see where their cities are placed, that kind of thing. Anyway, we now have the dies hooked up, so now Capital has dies, so there's only one unhappy face instead of two. Capital's pretty unhealthy, though. We're going to have wheat hooked up in a minute. That'll solve that issue. And I'm building a cottage here on this tile, which I'll be able to work. Forge, 3-pop. Let's see. What do I need to do to get it down? I think I'd like to wait until I get it down to 2-pop whip. I prefer not to triple whip that city. Anyway, we've got the 3 tiles we want here. So what I'm going to do next is I noticed I don't have a trade connection to Louis. I'd like to get that. So let's see if I can do that by building a roof. If I build a road on this tile, I'll have a trade connection to him. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then this guy's probably going to come up and help out at the capital. I got another cottage down here. Should I transfer? Yeah, it'll speed up growth by a turn, so yeah, we'll do that. Looking good. This city is not close enough to whip yet. Yeah, that's the right tile to pick up there. And we're just working on building that farm. Oh, the farm takes an extra turn. Why does it take 6? Oh, well, maybe it'll be done in 5. Usually the farms take 5 turns. And this city needs some worker attention as well. Oh, well. Let's get another tech. Once the AI moves all its units, of course.
I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So this is another religious tech. First tier discovers Judaism. That was Louis in this game. He is the Jewish founder. Main reason we want this is it enables organized religion, which we're going to swap to in just a little bit. See, it actually asks me if I want to revolt. No, I don't want to do so just yet, but I will in a little bit. So, remember what I just said about prerequisites? We're going to go ahead and grab Priesthood because it is a dirt cheap tech, only 93 beakers. We make more than that per turn. And it'll give us another 20% bonus beakers when we research Monarchy. So it's worth it just to pick it up. Also because it allows me to construct temples. I don't know if I'll ever build any, but it's just such a cheap tech that it's worthwhile to pick it up. One of the early game plays you can make is you can rush Priesthood and try to build the Oracle, which gives you a free technology. It's a very viable play. It can be strong in its own right. It didn't go that way in this particular game. You usually do need slightly stronger land than what I have here to really make that viable. Anyway, it asked me to build a settler. I would have already built the settler, but there's not really anywhere to place one because the whole world is filled up. That's the game. I don't know why it was prompting me to do one in that city. Alright, build the road there. This guy, let's see. Oh, Zoao, or Joao, however you pronounce it. Somebody rushed Temple of Artemis with their great engineer. Who was it? Let's see. Germany. So yes, Germany is really spamming the wonders. Stonehenge, Oracle, Temple of Artemis. He probably popped a low odds engineer from his great profit points, and he used it to rush a pretty useless wonder. So that's not so bad for us. The great scientist is actually probably more useful than Temple of Artemis. All right, what do we need to do next? Let's see. Probably need to chop and cottage this tile here while this city keeps growing, because this city is in pretty good shape. I'll leave the forge. Hold off on the forge whip for now. Let's see, this guy, I can use him. Still 3-pop. I'm trying to think where I want to move this guy. I'd really like to irrigate this tile, but I can't do it. I suppose that I will move him and just send him over to the capital to improve tiles. He can build another plains cottage there, which will be useful in time. Can I do a useful turn of work? Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do the most useful thing I can do and just throw down a road here. It's a little bit useless, but whatever. More useful than just wasting that turn. Alright. Checking out the French cities down here. Oh, wait, is Gandhi down there? No, he's not. No, it's just a tile bleed thing. It looked for a second like there were the light pink borders down there. Alright, so we've got the wheat improved. That's good. This city needs it to grow. Next, I probably need to improve the spices. That's the next best tile there. Let's hook that up. Now it's on our trade connection. Now the capital is no longer unhealthy because the wheat gives us 2 health. Wheat, rice, and corn are the best health resources because they give you +1 base and then another +1 health with a granary. And every city is going to rush a granary. So that improves our food growth rate quite a bit because we were losing 2 food due to being unhealthy. So that's a pretty big help right there. Yeah, I'm waiting until I can double whip this. I need to get to... Actually, I'll hit that next turn. Okay. And we're about to get another tech because, again, we're blowing through these cheap religious techs very quickly. That's part of the reason why score's going up so fast. You get points every time you research a tech. Score's not the best measure of how well you're doing, but, I mean, it does line up to a certain extent. Also burning through this treasury, but that's not a big deal. Our research rate's going up the whole time as the economy keeps improving.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
Alright, as I said before, the main thing that priesthood does is it allows you to go for the oracle. It also lets you build temples. And these are the temples of each different religion. They all do the same thing. +1 happy, +1 culture. You can build, if you have a religion, if you have more than one religion in a city, that allows you to build more than one temple. So if I had Judaism, Christianity, and Islam in one city, I could build 3 different types of temple if I wanted to. Kind of a neat system, I think. Alright, so there we go, on to monarchy. No. Why? Why do you keep saying that? Where would I settle? In the middle of the freaking desert? It's not going to do anything. It's pointless. I mean, I could settle this incense, but, like, the city would have no food. Now, look at these desert tiles. No food, no production, no commerce. Desert's worthless in this game. And that's by design. Anyway, we do have a trade connection to Louis, so let's see if we see any of the French cities popping up here. Nope, I do see some, Mayan cities popping up. Nope, so, didn't really matter. We can... If we want to, we can trade resources. In fact, I should check that out. He's got, all he has is rice. That's not that useful. Here are all my resources. Ooh, he'll actually declare war on Pakal. That could be, it could be useful. Let's see. Yeah, see, he's not looking to fight right now. Yeah, see, he says I don't really have anything. This is where if tech trading's on, you can get the AIs to declare war on civs, because you can trade them a tech for it. Anyway, we finished that farm there. Not really crucial. This is more so I can irrigate these tiles later once I have civil service. When the game starts, you can only build farms next to fresh water, rivers or lakes. You need civil service to be able to chain it away from farms and lakes. So this city is basically crippled until I get the civil service, which I'm going to start making a run towards soon. Alright. So, just scouting with these chariots. Chariots make great scouts because they have 2 movement. Or you can use actual scouts as well, which are cheaper. So the capital is almost solved its happiness and health problems. But I'm going to double whip. I'm going to double whip this. That'll actually be happiness neutral. If you notice here, gold resources, you get +1 happy naturally, and then you get a second happiness with the forge. So the whip penalty will cancel itself out, and then I can overflow into the market, which is what I'm looking to do. There we go. So that'll finish the forge. Let's see, we want to be working that tile, and we're good to go here. Yeah, this is perfect. And then when we can regrow onto that tile and onto this tile. It's 10 out of 10, but again, we'll get an extra happiness point from the gold. And I'm about to hook up spices too. So, and I'm going to be in hereditary rule very soon as well. Alright, so even though it's wasteful, we'll go in there anyway. Alright, over here, want to hook up the spices next. Alright, so yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Let me just double check these cities again. Again, I probably want to wait until it's 2 pop to whip this, which will be a little bit yet. This city's not close to being able to whip yet. Actually, I should probably wait. Do all these cities have Judaism? Almost all of them do. Everyone except this city and this city do. Probably just wait until I have organized religion to whip any of these cities. I'll explain why in a second. Oh, I can probably get monarchy, speed up monarchy by a turn if I tick up science. We'll see if I can do that. Alright, so the South Pole is clearly down here. There we go. Alright, so we've got the forge done. So again, forges are so useful because, again, plus 25% on all production. Now, the key reason why this is so good is you not only get 25% boost to production, but you get the bonus from whips too. So yes, whipping does include that. So instead of 1 whip giving you 30 production, it now gives me 30 times 1.25, so that's 37.5 production. So that's why you want to get those forges up quickly, because they will make your whips more powerful. And that's a big deal. Oh, we got a border expansion here, yeah. It's nice to be creative. Oh, there's the pyramids better. Oh, Pakal's got it. Nice. Well, he's become more attractive as a target. And we got religion spread over here. Look how fast this city's growing because it's got this big food surplus. Plus 6 food per turn. And we just make sure, because this city's got tons of food, no production. How do we build stuff? Well, we just whip it. Every 10 turns we're whipping something. Makes it pretty useful. Anyway, that pyramids... Oh, and by the way, notice the pyramids actually appear on the map. I think that's pretty funny. Like, there's the pyramids right there. That makes Pakal a much more attractive target for a war, because it would be very nice to control the pyramids. The pyramids allow you to adopt any civic in the first column, in the government column. And in practice, that usually means representation, which is a pretty useful late game civic, but you can't get it normally until later on. So that does make him a lot more attractive as a target. Anyway, so... yeah, oh, so close. How close is this? Hold on. I'm going to do the calculation and see how many beakers. So, how many beakers am I actually getting? It says 133 per turn. The actual calculation is I actually get 134. You always get whatever is stated here, plus 1, because you always make 1 beaker per turn, regardless of what your cities produce. So, it's 134. Then we check out the prerequisite bonus. Because we have 2 prerequisites for monarchy, we get 40% extra, so it's 134 times 1.4, so we actually get 187 right now. Let's see, we have 266 plus 187, 453. Oh, actually, we're getting, somebody else already has monarchy, and we're getting a slight bonus from that. You actually do get a slight bonus if other civs have the tech. Anyway, let's solve this right now. Let's just do this. We'll run a scientist, get an extra 3 beakers. Now we're getting monarchy next turn. So somebody else out there already has this tech. At least one person. Let's see if anyone's running hereditary rule civic. Let's see. Where is hereditary rule? Oh, let's see. 1, 2. So Bismarck and Gandhi already have it. Okay. So that means we get about 6 or 7% bonus speakers as well. That's why that calculation doesn't add up. Anyway, this is all stuff you really don't need to know, but it is how the actual beaker amount gets calculated. You take your research, you multiply it by the prerequisite modifier, and then you multiply it by another modifier based on how many other civs know the tech. And I guess that is kind of complicated. But anyway, the point is that we're going to get monarchy next turn, and then I'm going to revolt into organized religion. So actually I'm going to hold off on this chop for one more turn. I'll build the road first. And watch, you'll see what happens once I convert on these civics. Let's see, this guy he can't do anything, we'll just put a turn into a chop there. These guys can go ahead and chop because this city doesn't have religion, so it doesn't matter if I'm an organized religion or not. Anyway, there's a trade route connection. This city now needs another improved tile. I'd love to run this, but then I don't get enough food. So I think it's going to have to be a cottage. Oh no, wait, I have to be careful. I don't want to block off irrigation. See, I'm going to need to preserve an irrigation route. Let's build a cottage over here then. At least I'm getting a lot of culture in this city. So let's build that cottage over here. Oh, you can see the culture percentage. You can see how we're winning the battle for this tile, which is in our borders right now. We're not going to be able to take any of this guy's first row tiles away. This one we might be able to take. We might be able to get these two tiles. This one I don't think we can. Now this one we can't get. But we can probably get this tile and this tile, maybe even this one. Eventually, wait. No, this one we're not going to be able to get. Just trust me on it. Alright, anyway, let's grab monarchy. This is a key tech. After you move, of course, AI. They like to scout you too.
A multitude of rulers is not a good thing. Let there be one ruler, one king.
It's good to be the king, baby. Anyway, so this allows you to connect wines. This is another tech that allows you to hook up resources, but more importantly, it allows you to run hereditary rule civic. It also opens up some other later techs. And we are actually going to revolt in a second, but I'd prefer to do that when I control it. All right, let's grab aesthetics and then literature, and we're going to make our play for Great Library. So, let's check out that civics menu. The only other civics revolt I've done so far was early in the game I went to slavery. If you've been watching all these videos, you can probably see how slavery is completely necessary when playing Civ 4. It's the most important civic in the game. You really can't play the game without having access to some kind of slavery. I mean, you can, but you can't play optimally without using slavery. Anyway, so now we have some other options here. We have hereditary rule. Notice this is pretty simple. It just gives us +1 happy per military unit stationed in a city. That's actually quite useful. You can get over the happy cap in this game by using hereditary rule. So it's a very useful civic. It's also the favorite civic of a lot of AIs, so they like you more for running it, so we're going to swap to that. Then over here, organized religion in the religious column. Allows you to build missionaries without monastery. That's kind of nice, but not a huge deal for us because we're not really spreading this religion. And then the other thing, the thing we really want, cities with religions construct buildings 25% faster. Not units, only buildings. But this does also apply to wonders as well. So yes, 25% faster. It might not sound like a lot, but if you get forges and also run organized religion, you're building all infrastructure 50% faster. And again, this does apply to whips. So instead of whipping for 30 production per pop, we'll be whipping for 45 production per pop. And that's a really big deal. It allows you to get your infrastructure up so much faster. So this is something that we definitely want to swap to. So it's going to take one turn of anarchy. Again, this is something that a spiritual civ gets to avoid. They can change civics without anarchy. One reason why I like spiritual civs. Now the other thing is it does increase our upkeep. There are different civics cost different amounts. Notice how this says high upkeep. It's more expensive to run this civic. On the order of 3 gold per turn higher. That rate does increase as you play the game, but organized religion is useful enough that we want to swap over to this anyway, and we'll probably run this for a very long time, eventually swapping to either theocracy or free religion late game, or maybe even pacifism, maybe. But this is a very good civic, so let's go ahead and do that. So for one turn, we make no gold, we make no research, nothing. All we can do is just move units. So hereditary rule and organized religion. Let's see, some of these people like hereditary rule. Let's see if anyone has that. I think it's the favorite civic of Louis. I could be wrong on that. Alright, anyway, so as expected, my two My two religious friends are good friends with me, and the other civs don't like me very much. You can see there. It's religion that's kind of driving us apart. Which makes sense. I really do like the religion mechanic in this game. A lot of people don't seem to like to, but I think it works pretty well. Oh, yeah. We'll check espionage points next turn, so I don't make any while I'm in anarchy. Alright, let's see. No, I do not want to declare war. There we go. Alright, so it looks like the southern coast is down here. And Pakal just founded this city. There better be a food resource over here. This city is awful. Come on, here we go. Okay. Alright, I gotta finish that chop. I want to work that tile. I want the city to grow right now. And let's move a sword back here for extra happiness via hereditary rule. This guy. What do I want to do with this guy? Probably I want to, you know what I can do? I can build a road on this tile because I'm going to want to chop this soon. If I have a road on it, I can chop it later. I can actually pre-chop it. I'll explain what that means in a minute. Alright, let's get started on plantation for the spices. These guys are going to chop. And then that'll go through next turn. And we should be good to go. Okay. Alright. Let's get out of anarchy. I hate being in anarchy. Yeah, you can see how the AI really likes to explore your territory. It does need to explore your territory to be able to see it. It doesn't get that cheat. Alright, so watch this. If I hover over in The Hague, it says... Oh wow, we got another religion. Oh no, we didn't get it. Louis got it. He got a religion spread down there. Anyway, if I hover over on the chop here at The Hague, it says plus 30. And it'll say plus 30, but watch, I'll actually get 45 production for it once that gets factored in. Here we go. So 30. Oh no, wait, I don't have the forge. Duh. Never mind. So I don't get 45. I do get the plus 25% from Judaism. So you see, it does actually go through. Okay. I guess at this point I'll just finish the forge naturally and then whip out the market. It's probably the best way to do that. Alright, over here we want to finish that spice plantation. Is that going to finish this turn? Looks like it is. Alright, there we go. So, this is another resource. Hold on, you can't see the tile yield, so I'll drop that. Anyway, spices, again, calendar resource. Add food to the tile, add happiness once they're hooked up, so this will give me more happiness. It's useful here because I need these two tiles for food. This city is also low food. Wow, most of this terrain here is terrible. I really should have founded this one tile south. That would have made the city better. Yeah, that's a misplay from me for sure. Should have been one tile south. Oh, wow. Well, at least I get some ice tiles, right? No, this city's never going to be very good. It just doesn't have enough food. These tundra tiles are worthless. Oh, well. Maybe I can do something with it eventually. Alright. This guy is going to head west. Oh, wow. What's this? He's going to found another city down there. Yeah, unfortunately, I just, ran out of expansion room. So I'll probably have to go to war with someone to rectify that. Don't get me wrong, I could win the game off of this many cities. This is enough to win on Emperor without any real trouble. But, why stop expanding if I don't have to? If I can take land from somebody else. Take better land from someone else. And Maya is definitely looking like the best target. Again, I've got a friend here. I've got a friend down here. The other civs in the game, Hannibal, Gandhi, Bismarck, I believe are all to the east. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they're all to the east. So it would make the most sense just to go west and take out this civ. Alright, let's check out how the capital's doing. 3 pop for the market. Oh, I already whipped the forge. Yeah, this is what I want to run. So this is looking pretty solid. And again, I just want to let the capital grow for the most part. Just grow the capital. Got 6 food surplus. That's pretty good. It's pretty good considering that there's, like, no food bonuses at this capital beyond a plains cow, which is really sad. Oh yeah, I can fire this specialist. Whoops, I should have done that. Alright, there we go. So we're going to hit 0 gold next turn, which is a little bit sad, but we did stretch a little bit to get monarchy a turn earlier. Anyway, aesthetics tech doesn't have a lot of practical value. Basically, it'll just, wait, why does it say 3 here and 4 turns when I hover over it? That's weird. It's like an interface glitch. Anyway, there we go. Aesthetics allows you to build a couple different wonders. Parthenon is, yeah, Parthenon's not that great. Again, it's not really worth the cost. Statue of Zeus is very irritating. It adds additional war weariness for your enemies. It's pretty pointless against the AI because they get war weariness cheats. It doesn't really affect them. Shwedding on Paya can be useful. It does enable all religion civics, but honestly, I'd rather run organized religion right now than anything else, so it doesn't really do that much. Meanwhile, literature, very, very good tech. I'm using aesthetics to get to literature, because literature has stuff I really want. Great library is key. National epic is big too, and heroic epic is really useful, and I can actually build heroic epic. I have to decide which city to put it in. Unfortunately, I don't have a great candidate for it. Rotterdam actually is probably the best choice. Because I can turn this into a production city. Yeah, Rotterdam is actually the best choice. It's crummy now, but once I can farm these grassland tiles, it'll actually have a lot of production. So Rotterdam will be our heroic epic city, and that'll be very useful later on. Did you see what the AI did there? It moved the chariot to the left and then moved it to the right. The AI is pretty stupid sometimes. Alright, so we have to turn down science for the moment. Somebody got a great profit. Oh. Okay, well this city's not too good, but it does have a... is that a plains cow? That is a plains cow. Yeah, this city's pretty crummy. There's not really that much food there. I guess it's enough to make it worth founding, I guess. But this city really needs irrigation. Now, if the AI knew what it was doing, it would chain irrigation down here. Like, if you can farm these 2 tiles, then the city's worthwhile. But if the AI doesn't do that, then it's a pretty terrible city. It probably will not do that because the AI doesn't really know what it's doing. Alright, so anyway, there we go. Now we've got spices connected too. There we go. Another happiness space. So, capital is fine. See, look at how much happiness we have here. We've got the extra happiness from hereditary rule, and I can increase that further if need be. So now, I just don't want the capital to... I really just don't want to whip the capital if I can avoid it. I just want to let it grow. And just keep working more tiles, more commerce, more commerce. Again, remember, we've got that academy here, plus 50% science, so we just, you know, want to get it working as many tiles as possible for that reason. Alright, we've got that. Probably the next thing to do is to mine this hill tile, because I am going to want to run high production when I build Great Lighthouse. Or Great Library. Great Lighthouse. That would be a very interesting Great Lighthouse built in a landlocked city. Alright, cottage. The next thing we want to do is we want to finish... Well, the next tile to improve is this tile here. But before we do that, let's chop out this granary for Middleburg. It did go there, right? Yeah, it only needs 1 more turn. That's pretty nice because I did pre-chop it. Alrighty. Pretty good shape. This city I could whip the forge, but again, it just has so little food. It's probably better just to let it complete it manually. At least it's getting the plus 25%. See, instead of 9 production, we're up to 11. Like, this city just has so little food. Makes it tough. Oh, and we got the cottage done, so let's swap there. Got to get started on these cottages ASAP so they start growing. I'm going to get a border expansion here soon, too. I probably... I'd like to get a theater in here as well. That would be nice. I don't have the tech for that yet, but this city, yeah, we'll let the, like I said, we'll let the forge finish and then pick up, and then we'll whip the marketplace, like I said. Yeah, whipping markets with organized religion and a forge is a pretty good example of how powerful they are, because it takes, I think it's a 5-pop whip with no modifiers. If you have a forge and organized religion, it goes down to a little over a 3-pop whip. So that's a pretty huge difference. Let's actually get these cows. Yeah, we'll get these cows connected next. Because I don't actually have the cows on my trade network. Not that I really need them. Well, actually, I do need them. I'm about to hit the health cap. So yeah, let's do that. All right, here we go. Oh, this city's pretty good. The bananas makes this pretty solid. Oh wait, where's that workboat going? That's weird. Maybe it's just scouting with the workboat. But there's no food resource to increase. Yeah, so Maya's basically out of room to expand too. Maya's not really going to be doing much of anything at this point. Check the demographics again. How are we looking? Still a little low on Bismarck. Bismarck doesn't seem to like us for some reason. He's been running a lot of espionage against us. I've been able to see everyone's bar graphs except his. Of course, he's way over on the other side of the world, so he's not that scary. But it would be nice just to be able to see his bar graphs. He's probably been building a lot of courthouses and has a lot of espionage points. Alright. If you notice, every time that a city grows, you usually have to check it and just micro it real quick because the AI doesn't know what tiles to assign. It's pretty bad about that. Anyway, let's do this. Let's get another cottage here. I'm emphasizing commerce very heavily. That's pretty standard for Civ 4, but it's worth mentioning too. Alright, there we go. That should complete the granary. Yes, good. Very key in a low food city like this. You won't need to get that granary up quickly. Notice that the granary was built almost entirely with 2 forest chops. As it jumps around the map. I chopped the forest on the spices. I chopped this forest. That together basically completed the granary. If this city had actually had to build its granary, it would have taken forever. I want to forge next there. So again, use your workers to speed up the development of new cities. Very important. And let's see. I'm going to want to farm this tile. How much more food do I need? I probably need 3 farms here. I can farm here and probably this tile. So that means we're probably good to cottage here. It would be nice to chop this tile too, but I have to focus on improving tiles first. I should probably send a second worker down there. This city is actually my production capital right now, which is really sad. It shows how sad my cities are. When your cities are food poor, the thing that you usually have to sacrifice is production. Like, because you can't sacrifice food and you can't sacrifice commerce. So usually production's the thing to go. I would have better production if my cities had more food, but because they're so food poor, I have to sacrifice something, and I end up sacrificing this. So anyway, we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, we can go back to that. Good. So that's a more accurate reflection of my GMP. And it's actually better than this because the rival best is getting inflated by researching a known tech. So I'm actually even further ahead than this suggests. I'm pretty sure no one has aesthetics yet. Maybe they do. They could have aesthetics. But yeah, I'm in pretty good shape here. My military is rather low. I probably need to research construction, tech construction, and start building some military just in case. My score has gotten pretty far out in front now. And that's about it. Oh, this city must be getting close to be able to whip. Yep, I can whip this, but I'm going to whip it in 2 turns when it's about to grow. I'll explain why when I get there. Just take my word for it. It's better to whip when you're about to grow in most cases. Alright, I accidentally activated that unit. It's the granary in Middleburg. Ooh, Hanging Gardens. Let's see. I wonder who built that. I don't think it was Bismarck. His score would have gone up by more. Nope, Carthage. Hanging Gardens is a pretty good wonder as well. +1 population in all cities, which is rather nice. Again, it's just not one I was really looking to target, in part because I haven't connected stone. I do have stone. I should probably connect it. Yeah, maybe I can do that with my workers next. I actually do have both doubling resources, stone and marble, but I'm making a play for the wonders at the top of the tree. Still, I could have gone for Hanging Gardens, just didn't in this particular game. All right, so now we know where all of the Mayan cities are. We've got pretty good view on them. For whatever reason, the AI has tons of unchopped forests, which is stupid. Now again, look at how he's managing his city. So we've got a full view on his territory because we just walked all the way through it. Where are the cottages? Look at this capital. His capital is actually not that great. He's got an unirrigated rice, and that's it for food. So this is actually not a particularly great capital either. So what he needs to do is he needs to farm. He needs to put down some farms to give himself some extra food, and then he needs to build cottages on the river. But look at this. He doesn't have any cottages. His tech rate must be terrible. Like, where is his commerce coming from? He has all these unchopped forests. He has no food, so he grows slowly. This is why Maya is so far behind. Pakal is one of the strongest leaders. Actually, Pakal is the strongest leader in the game. Expansive financial, that's literally the two best traits in the entire game. The leader I'm playing, Willem, who's creative, and financial. This is actually the second best combination of leader traits in the game. So I am actually playing a very strong civ here. But Pakal should be doing better. He's completely mismanaged his start. And again, it's the AI, but this is terrible management. He needs to irrigate here. Well, if he doesn't have civil service, he can't do that yet. But he needs to farm here to bring irrigation to his rice. He needs at least one more farm other than that, and then he needs to cottage everything else. This is actually not a particularly great starting location. He, not exactly sure where he could have gone. Yeah, this is a pretty lousy starting location too, but he certainly hasn't done a very good job with it either. Let me just see. I'm just curious. What is his actual GMP? Yeah, look how low it is. Pretty bad. Pretty terrible. You can see I'm way out in front of pretty much all these AIs. I lost bar graphs with someone else though too. Who did I lose them with? I think I lost them with Louis. Yeah, but I'll get them back next turn. Anyway. Alright, so we need to chop and then plantation this tile. 1, 2, 3. Although, watch, we're going to do it in a different order. If we build the road here, then this worker can move onto the tile and chop. So this way we avoid wasting a worker turn again. Just the little worker micro. You want to just avoid wasting worker turns always if possible. Alright, so this is a dead end. There's nothing down here. No food resources, just ice. That's like basically the same thing as up here. Just complete and utter nothingness. Alright, capital's about to grow. Good. Got plenty of happiness. It's got a little extra health. I don't have that much health. Maybe I might even have to build an aqueduct, although I prefer not to. We shall see. At least I have plenty of happiness. And yeah, I don't see any more health resources. I might be able to trade for one, though. The AI's usually pretty willing to trade for that kind of stuff. And yeah, we're in pretty good shape. We're going to whip this city next turn. I keep getting advice on how to pronounce it, but I'm just not really even going to try. I don't want to embarrass myself trying to do a Dutch pronunciation. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, getting whiplash here.
Art for art's sake is an empty phrase. Art for the sake of truth, art for the sake of the good and the beautiful. That is the faith that I am searching for.
So you might be wondering, why does this tech quote sound different than all the others? Well, that's because this is a tech that was added in the expansion Beyond the Sword. So Firaxis was not able to get Leonard Nimoy to read these tech quotes. So that is actually Sid Meier and not Leonard Nimoy. I have actually met Sid when I was working at Firaxis. He's a pretty nice guy. I always think it's funny that they put his name on like every product associated with Civ. That was initially done as a marketing thing. Now it's just traditional that they associate Sid Meier with everything civilization. Alright, so literature in 2 turns. Let's see if we can massage this to get some overflow. And there's nothing I can build in 2 turns. Alright, well, we'll leave it as is. I was going to see if I could complete something and get overflow into Great Library, which we're going to build there next. At least we have a lot of extra modifiers for that. Okay, let's see. So what I can do is I can start chopping this. So it's going to take 3 turns, and I can chop. I can see if this tile will also go to Amsterdam. I believe it will. Yep, we'll go to Amsterdam as well. Notice that I only get 24 production though, because this is outside Amsterdam's 21 tile radius. It's outside the Fat Cross. So that's why we get a little bit less production there. Alright, this guy I'm going to send east to go scout in that direction. Oh, whoops. Let's do this then. Over here we can finish this chop. There it is. Boop. Another 30 production. So this city has really been accelerated by all these chops. Been accelerated pretty fast due to all of them. I'll probably end up using Middleburg as more of a production city as well, just because it doesn't really have enough food to serve as a commerce city, and I can't really build that many cottages up there. It's also not on a river as well. Alright, just swap that over there to get in another extra turn on a cottage. And before we forget, we want to whip this city. Now, what's the whole deal? Well, you want to whip when a city is about to grow, because that way it will grow back after whipping. Watch, this costs 3 pop, but watch, we'll go ahead and whip. It drops down 3 sizes, but look how much food it has. It will immediately regrow to size 4 next turn, and then it will regrow to size 5 really quickly. So, it's just easier if you whip when it's when a city's about to regrow. So you're at the lower population size for less time. That's basically the idea there. Alright, over here, this city's in pretty solid shape. You know, as funny as this is, I think that this is actually the next tile to improve, this tundra tile. It's very unconventional, but I can cottage that. And I think I'm going to. It's even weaker than the plains tile, but I think I still want to improve that over any of these other tiles. All these other tiles are pretty unappealing. This tile's outside the border. Like, would I rather improve a tundra river tile or a non-river plains tile? Probably the tundra river tile, to be honest. I am financial after all. Again, very unconventional, but it works in this situation, so let's do it. Alrighty then. Alright, so literature now 1 turn away. And I'm going to use some worker labor to help chop Great Library, which I think I'm reasonably safe to get. Wow, look at these. So many of these Jewish missionaries. Louis has just converted like every city to Judaism. Alright. Oh, I must have started an archer before and never finished it. Notice how there's no production in the archer. I just have to start from scratch. That's because whatever was in that build queue decayed. It will... units in the build queue will decay over time if you're not working on them. Yeah, see, remember we whipped down to size 3? Well, we regrew to size 4, and now next turn we regrow to size 5. So again, that's all a result of whipping when the food box was almost full. So that's pretty nice. Down here we get a border expansion. Oh, I got a great scientist for Pakal. The only tile we actually picked up was this one, but now we'll put a lot more pressure on this tile. This tile's going to flip over to our influence soon, I believe. It should flip over to our influence soon, because it's getting pressure from Utrecht and also Maastricht. This tile also will likely flip over to us. Not guaranteed. This one is almost guaranteed. Alright, let's finish that cottage. Swap over to that cottage. Yeah, these ones still need some more time to pop. Alright, so get the extra production in Amsterdam. Alrighty. And over here, let's finish that spices plantation. It'll be done just in time. Up, look at this. Hindu missionary. He's looking to convert Middleburg. That's actually not that bad of a thing. It can be useful to have access to more than one religion, because you can build more than one temple and more than one type of monastery. So I'm not going to be too terribly upset if Gandhi ends up converting that, which it looks like he will. Oh, well, that made that city infinitely better. The fact that there's a grassland sheep and a gold tile here. Yeah, Louis' land is not... his capital is insane. Past his capital, his land is not particularly great, though. He's got a lot of plains tiles, which is not too good. And so this is where... there's a city on this tile right here. That's where the AI ended up founding down here. Alrighty. Here we go. Now the one thing I have to do is I have to swap the capital right away on production before that chop goes into it. Still more
Some
missionaries.
books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested.
Alright, so this is the tech that we were chasing. Very useful tech. Great Library is a great wonder. It's very strong. Gives you 2 free scientists, and it also allows you to produce more great scientists as a result of that. Double production speed with Marble, which we have, so we've got the jump on that. And then we're probably going to try to combine that with National Epic, which increases Great Person birth rate. This is a national wonder. Every civ can build one of these, as opposed to a world wonder, which only one civ can build. And national epic we're going to build in that city that has like no food whatsoever, but will once we get the civil service. So now I've talked so much about civil service. Now we're going to head straight for civil service. We need to go through Code of Laws. Civil service is very expensive. It'll probably take us about 10 turns to research it, but it's what we need because we need this farm spread irrigation. We also want this enables bureaucracy. Two very powerful things that our civ needs this more than anything else, so that's what we're going to head for. The only other real play I could see would be to go for construction, but I'm not looking to fight anyone just yet. Maybe later, so we can skip it for now. We have good relations with 2 of our 3 neighbors, and Pakal doesn't scare me. The others are too far away. Even if Bismarck or Hannibal declared war, they'd just be too far away to really do anything. Alright, there's the forge. Actually, let's scroll to the capital before I forget about it, and swap over to Great Library. Here we go. 21 turns, looks like it's forever, but we're going to speed that up. Yeah, for one thing, it's going to grow. Let's see. I will go ahead and swap that. And when it grows next turn, I'll grab this tile too. And then we have forest chops coming in. It'll probably take about 7 or 8 turns to finish it. So really not that long. Again, the forest chopping is going to help out. You can probably chop this tile too. Go and chop that next. Oh yeah, this city. Well, we need the barracks first because it's required for heroic epic. 2 million souls. Completely useless, but I suppose good to know. Yeah, there's Hinduism. Not a big surprise. Cool, forest. Oh, it's way up there. All right, so there's the chop. Now watch what happens. Boom! Look how much production we got here. We're gonna knock out 97 out of the 350 cost on the first turn. So look, 30 from chopping, 9 from base production. So 25% from forge, 25% from Judaism, 100% bonus from having marble. So we get 97 production this turn. That is a lot of production. So this is what more advanced players can do. In some of the multiplayer games that we've run, it's not uncommon to see people set up workers such that you get the tech for a wonder, 4 or 5 forest chops complete the turn you get that tech, and the wonder falls on the very turn that you research the tech. It is possible to do that. I didn't really have enough worker labor to quite set that up, but you can do that, and it always looks pretty slick when you can pull it off. So, didn't do that here, but again, forest chops, pretty big deal. Alright, there we go. So 131, we can now run that pretty reliably. And we just got this spice done just in time for city growth, which is also kind of neat. Alrighty, so let's see, where do we go next? Well, I don't want to cut it just because I want to save this for farms. I want to save these tiles because I need to irrigate up here. So instead I'm going to go and I'm going to hook up this this first tile, but I don't want to waste worker labor again, so we'll road our way up there. Better than doing nothing. And just so I don't make a mistake in the worker micro next turn, we'll do this. Alrighty. So we got another forest chop coming in here next turn, and I'm going to move and chop this forest too. And all that together should help us out. The Hague I'm going to whip when it fills up the food box, so similar thing again. It should be a 3-pop whip at that point, which is what I'm looking for. And there we go. There's our beautiful Tundra River cottage, which I'm actually not going to work. I do want the production from the horse tile right now. Horse tile is better than that by a pretty wide margin. Alrighty, yeah, there's that scouting workboat that we saw earlier. Alright, we got the forge. Yeah, I need irrigation here in the absolute worst way possible. There's not really a whole lot else to build. We'll just stick this on a market for right now. And again, I don't really want to whip because there's no food here. I'll just keep it slow growing. That's very inefficient to just be slow growing at 2 food per turn, but I don't have a lot of options because of the quality of the land there. Alright, oh, this forest chop should complete this turn. Let's see how much we get from this. There we go. Knock 2 turns off the wonder. So we got 24 plus 9, and we're going to get 82 production. So remember that initial thing was 20. I bet we get the wonder down finished in about 6 or 7 turns. due to the help from these chops. Alright, here. What do I want to do here? I can't go there. That's unfortunate. There's not a ton for these guys to do right now. I suppose I could mine this tile. It doesn't really do that much. I'm not sure. I will probably try to come down here. Maybe, let's connect. Let's finish this road connection here. Alright, road. Camp. Wow, this is going to be... These fertiles are terrible because they have no food on them. Oh, there's another city here. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. And you join up with him. I'm going to play to turn 130. And I'll stop there because I want to try to... I always try to stop these on even numbers. Oh, what's that? Why did he move those chariots up to the border? Might want to check with our Portuguese friend to make sure he's not doing any funny business. Let's check this out. He does have a lot of cities, doesn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 10 cities. Alright. Yeah, he doesn't... Alright, so no, he's not looking to go to war. Not right now, at least. He could always change his mind later. Let's see Biz. We still can't see his graphs. Everyone else, I believe that we can see. Gandhi, though, we're going to have to keep those espionage points on. One of the reasons I don't like espionage, just kind of a pain to keep managing that. It's not a very well-designed system. Alright, so Great Library is down to 6 turns. We'll cut 2 turns off that with the Forest Chop. Get it in 4 turns. Pretty solid. Alright. This guy, he can come down and help out at this city. Finish this road connection. Always need to have more than one road passing through. Yeah, there we go. That'll go to Amsterdam. Work on that camp. Not a lot to do on this turn, so... I do have the capital up to size 12 now, and it's slightly unhealthy. That's unfortunate. Let me just see if I can trade for a health resource with someone. Resources. We'll trade. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Maybe I can get that corn from the Portuguese. That would be pretty nice if I could get that. What do you want for this? Oh yeah, well that's a good deal. Let's do that. Normally, health for happy is... Normally you don't want to trade happiness for health, but in this situation I think it's justified. Cha-ching. Alright, so now the capital is not unhealthy, so 4 food per turn growth. Not great, but not terrible. +5 or +6 would have, food per turn would be much better, but you know, you do what you can. I do have a size 12 capital. Nobody else seems to have it. Oh, I guess Carthage's capital is pretty close, but he probably has way more food resources than I do. So most of the AI capitals are like 7 or 8. So, I mean, we can just see, look around the map. Look, Paris with all this food, size 7. That's really sad. I could have it at like, if I had enough, I could run hereditary rule and I could have this at like size 16 or 17 at this point. Mutal is size 7. Lisbon size 7. Again, what? He built a Colosseum? Again, AI has no clue what it's doing. He built a Colosseum in a size 7 city. That's just terrible management. Just terrible. But it does tell me he has construction, which is a military tech, so that bears some watching. Alright, anyway, let's finish this off. This is getting to be a fairly long video again. 15 turns seems to take me close to an hour to play, which is very standard for me. If anything, I'm actually rushing a little bit. I play this game very slowly.
To bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, so that the strong should not harm the weak.
This is another religious tech. First to discover found Confucianism. That was Bismarck in this game, which is why he doesn't seem to like anyone else. It's also key because it opens up courthouses. That's an economic tech. Provides espionage points. Also decreases maintenance in cities. So we will build some of them eventually, but currency is usually the more important tech. If you're researching at a high rate, It's not as useful. Caste system is an interesting civic. It's one of my favorites. It's just unfortunately it conflicts with slavery. Oh, I forgot to whip last turn. Oh, that's really a shame. That's pretty sad. Oh, well. I should have whipped that last turn. I may go back and reload after this and do that. I suppose that might be cheating, but it is just a mental mistake after all. Oh wow, look at this. The city's working an unimproved grassland tile. That's really sad. Let's correct that. Anyway, let's see. Let's see if this chop will go to Amsterdam. I've got another chop at Maastricht. Okay, that'll finish the forge. Nice. Anyway, civil service is due in 8 turns. So our chariots are heading east along similar trajectories here. Let's see, so this guy can come down here and cottage this too. Wait, does this go to Amsterdam? Yes, it does. Alright, so here we go. We'll do this. And we need to hook up these furs on the ice. Alrighty, yeah, so I still need a couple more turns to finish Great Library. It would be nice to end the video on Great Library. But I don't know, maybe alright, let's just rush through we'll just rush through a couple turns. It'll only take 2 more turns with these farce chops. And if the video goes over time, I apologize. I know that these are fairly long, but it feels like a more interesting way to end the video if I do it that way. Alright, so we've got the barracks. Now we're going to work on Heroic Epic. Only 9 turns? Wow, this city does actually have a decent amount of production. Not too bad. It just needs food. Once it has food, it'll be a good city. Alright, we've got Forge. What do we want to do next here? It's either Marketplace or Courthouse. Probably Marketplace. The maintenance is not too bad here. This is another city that really just needs irrigation to become semi-decent. Alright. There we go. There's the first forest chop. Now Great Library is due in 2 turns. And that other forest chop will finish it. Let's improve this tile. That's the best tile I can work on here. Oh, there's another French city down here. And that city's on exactly the tile I thought it would be. The French city is on this tile here. Wow, really? Did you really put a city here? What a garbage city. There's no food. Where is the city ever going to get food from? Unless the city's here. If the city's here, it's much better, but I don't think it is. Maybe it's here. We will see. Alright, so Great Library coming up real soon. I guess it doesn't really hurt to keep running this city at this size. Well, we'll whip when it gets, we'll whip when it hits the growth, when it's about to grow again. Nothing else to do. We'll whip here when that last whip penalty wears off. Producing a lot of science right now. I mean, it could be a lot more, don't get me wrong, but all things considered, with this really crummy land, we're producing quite a bit of science. Chichen Itza, okay, someone's had... Wait, Chichen Itza? Alright, yeah, so that's almost certainly Bismarck. I would be very surprised if that is not Bismarck. Yeah, so see, it's Bismarck, because he's had coat of walls for a long time. Chichen Itza is a pretty bad wonder. Doesn't really do that much. Plus 25% defense in all cities, but the thing is, if you're defending your cities, you're probably not winning the game anyway. You want to build stuff that gives you an economic advantage. It's actually not bad in multiplayer, but multiplayer this is not. Alright, let's see how well the AI is doing at improving its cities. I still see a lot of jungle not chopped down there. Alright, there we go. So there's another forest chop. Now Great Library is due next turn. We're actually going to have a decent amount of overflow, which was nice because it'll finish the market. Pretty nice. Alright, this city, I mean, I guess that's the right tile to work. I guess I can farm another plains tile. I guess. I might as well do that. After all, it's going to be working that tile for a bit yet. But I'm getting close to civil service. It's only 6 turns away now. Okay, yeah, wow, this city sucks. There's no food whatsoever. Like, this city is totally useless. There's no food tiles whatsoever. It can work the iron mine, and, like, that's it. Unless the AI gets really good at chaining irrigation over there, which I do not think it will. Alright. These guys can just chill for a moment. Yeah, I'm really just waiting. I might as well come over here and prepare to irrigate. Yeah, I'm really just like waiting until I get civil service with a lot of these workers. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's grab that great library. I'll be very sad if the AI completes it on the inner turn. But no, no, that's wrong. The player automatically wins all ties for wonders. So we will get it. And the wonder video. Yay! We built something. There we go. Okay, so plus two free scientist specialists. Might not sound like much, but it's pretty good. No, I would build settlers. There's no place to put them. So if we look inside the city, now we have 2 free scientists. So we're basically getting this for free. And we also, so we get 6 great person points, 6 great scientist points for free. And then we get another 2 from the Great Library. See how it says plus 2 great person points, great scientist. So we get 8 per turn. So we're going to finish this. We're going to follow this up with a market. Oh, can I? Is there another tile I can work to grow? No, unfortunately. So we're going to follow the. We're going to finish this market, and then we're going to build National Epic, which will give us another plus 100% great person points. So we'll be getting great scientists fairly quickly. And what's even better is we've got Mausoleum, so we're in a position. So when we do use some of those great people on Golden Ages, they'll be 50% longer. So it's pretty good. So Bismarck just researched feudalism. That's not really that scary. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this tile that this city's working. I guess we'll swap that to theirs. Yeah, so we want to irrigate this tile so we can then farm that tile. Yeah. So we want to farm that and then farm that once we have civil service. Here. Finish this, finish that. Alrighty, so we'll work this. And I guess we work that. Need irrigation very badly. No food. This guy I'll send to the south. Oh wait, I don't have open borders with Gandhi, so I can't explore his territory. Oh well. It's because everybody else seems to hate Gandhi in this game. Oh man, I should have canceled that last turn. Now I'm going to waste a worker turn here. We should hook up that copper and finish this road connection. Anyway, so there we go. We're in good shape. Civil service is about to come in. If we check where we are in terms of the demographics score, we're up in the lead. Lost bar graphs with somebody else now. We lost them with Hannibal. That's unfortunate. So we're pretty far out in front in GMP. Even with Pakal's horrendous city management, he's still doing pretty well just due to his innate traits. Production, wow, we've actually risen on production as well. But that's because we were building great library. Food, we're still at the top. We're slowly being caught up by the Portuguese because they have like 6 more cities than we do. Power, we're at the bottom. That's not surprising. As long as we're not getting attacked, it's no big deal. Espionage, we're low. Doesn't matter that much. We're number 1 in GMP still. The food gap has narrowed, but that's because we don't have that many cities again. So at some point, gonna have to expand. I forgot to whip this city last turn too. Oh well, that's not a big deal. I can whip it in 2 more turns. But again, that's what happens when I play quickly, and I'm not checking every city every turn. Anyway, so this has gone on for too long already, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you later. Take care.